Chapter 8. The System. Privilege, prestige, platforms, power, progress. Privilege, prestige, platforms. Buffon, Erasmus Darwin, and Charles Darwin all lived inside wealthy and influential circles. That security gave them decades to speculate about life, and through those powerful circles, their speculations circulated. In the 1700s, global exploration had brought a flood of new species into Europe, and strange fossils were being found that did not match any known living animal. So Buffon, director of the French King's Garden, started to rigorously describe the natural world in meticulous detail through scientific language instead of religious language. His cataloging of nature strengthened France's scientific standing. He noticed variations between similar animals living in different climates and suggested that natural conditions could alter living forms. He did not prove it or demonstrate it to be a fact, he just suggested it. But a suggestion from such a prestigious person became influential to others. Erasmus Darwin, Charles's grandfather, pushed the suggestion further. He speculated that life possessed an inner drive to improve itself. He proposed that species could gradually transform through the repeated use of a body part, and that those developments could be inherited. For example, if aquatic animals strove to be better swimmers, then their persistent effort could gradually produce webbed feet, and those improvements would be passed on to future generations. Charles Darwin inherited the assumption that species were not immutable. Backed by substantial family resources, he was able to devote years to specimen collection and cataloging. He proposed that differences between species were the result of what he called random variations. He speculated that organisms with favorable variations were more likely to survive, and that those traits were passed on to future generations. These variations, Darwin openly admitted, came from unknown causes. His theory came to be treated as the definitive origin story of life. So each man carried the previous speculation one step further. Their observations gained influence because the men proposing them had the privilege, prestige, and platforms necessary to spread their ideas. Power. There will always be powerful elites who have the wealth and education to assert their assumptions about life into society. Wealth and education are good and necessary things, but there is a danger in how wealth and education function inside systems of power. It creates exclusive doors into a system that is self-protecting. This elite class can rewrite social morality, and everyone else must bend to the changes they make. The elite who went through the system's exclusive doors shape legislation, academia, and media. So the system is protected by the very structures it creates. Power magnifies itself because nothing inside the system has any incentive to restrain it. This is why history shows that whenever elites hold a strong worldview, it eventually grows into a system. Darwin's scientific theories were expanded into social Darwinism. Marx's economic writings were expanded into communism. Early progressivism expanded into an overreaching administrative state. Neo-progressivism followed, and soon after technocracy came along, and now we are facing transhumanism. Progress. Progress is incontrovertible. You cannot argue against progress, or else you are labeled as regressive, backwards, or anti-innovative. Progress is presented to be self-evidently good. It can justify everything done in its name. But what counts as progress? Whoever holds power gets to decide the answer to that question. Where is progress going? Does it matter? Progress itself is the goal. Darwinism is the progress of the species. Eugenics is the progress of the race. AI is the progress of intelligence. Transhumanism is the progress of humanity itself. So we live in their system, and although they do not believe you have a spirit, they do believe you can be coded, and they want to rewrite you, digitize you, and download you. After all, it must be beneficial because it is in the name of progress. And realize this: progress can never be falsified because any outcome can be called progress if it is framed right. An experiment fails and thousands are dead. This is acceptable because failure is always needed to achieve progress. Progress becomes its own proof. It validates the entire decayist system regardless of the moral cost. Conclusion: to make the controlled believe their situation can be improved by the controllers is a never-ending circle. This is important to realize. When monarchies, religions, or governments fall, the elites still need a reason to rule, and decayism offers the perfect template for them. The elite impose a system and then measure that system's success by their own metrics, which becomes the proof they need to justify more power, which lets them build bigger systems, which produces more success. It is circular and compounding, a nice and tight self-perpetuating loop. This is the system: privilege, prestige, platforms, power, progress. And it has been running for centuries.